It's all Schofields today, isn't it? We're told that Philip Schofield has been having a friendship with a younger colleague, which he says is more than a friendship, unwise but legal. This is the rumour which has been running around backstage for actually quite a long time. He says this began while he was still married, which is exactly what the rumour suggested, in contradiction to the ripping autobiography that he released last year that I read very fast, very quickly, really. He says he is sorry about the lies, and he's apologized about misleading people. He misled his lawyer last week and confided that the Daily Mail planned to write a story about him and this colleague a few days ago, but for some reason that was pulled. I have no doubt it will be spread across the front pages tomorrow. Contrary to speculation, he says, whilst I met the man when he was a teenager and was asked to help him get into television, it was only after he started to work on the show that it became more than a friendship. That relationship was unwise but not illegal. It is now over. He went on that when he came out, there was no one forcing him to come out. And he said that in an effort to protect this ex-colleague, he hasn't been truthful about the relationship. But my recent unrelated departure from this morning fueled speculation and raised questions which have impacted him, this ex-colleague. So for his sake, it's important for me to be honest now. I'm painfully conscious that I've lied to my employers at ITV, to my colleagues and friends, to my agents, to the media, and therefore the public, and most importantly of all, to my family. I'm so very, very sorry, as I am, for having been unfaithful to my wife. Philip then went on to say that he'd stepped down, but that's not the story that his agents have put out. So three stories coming out quickly, and I'm sure there will be more. He says that it's his deepest wish that both he and his family can now move on with their lives, free from further intrusion, and that this statement will enable them to do so. I think it's. I think this is a very, very sad fall from grace. I don't see how he can recover his position, because that position is based on the trust that he had with the viewer, this sort of friendly bonhomie, and that effectively goes now. He's revealed to have feet of clay. This is the problem with building a career on frippery. You know that I'm all for the ephemeral, but I think there has to be some backbone. And what's so sad about Philip Schofield is he clearly has that backbone. He clearly has that spine, but he's not built his career on that. I saw that in his brilliant performance of Dr. Dolittle, and in the performance of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. I mean, why don't I like Joseph? Why didn't I like him as much in Joseph? Because I loathe the show. I think it's a second-rate show, and I think that production in the Palladium was about as good as it's ever going to get. And it really wasn't bad. And Philip made it better than it could have been. As for Dr. Dolittle, he was sensational. As for this morning, I've tried to avoid it. I find the sort of bonhomie on the sofa just dull. And I think it could be interesting, but it requires engagement. It requires authenticity. And that is something Philip Schofield has lost in abundance today.